Hi, I'm Justin Harnish and welcome to the show. And in 3, 2, 1, I want to wish you, your friends and your family near and far a very happy and prosperous new year. For me personally, January the 1st, 2015, right now, is the mark of something truly wonderful to come. Because in 2014, it was an absolute nightmare. And on many occasions, it was enough to make me go off my block. Cheers everybody, Happy New Year. It is, by the way, water. I just felt like drinking water in a wine glass because it looks fancy, doesn't mean anything, don't worry. New Year's resolutions, being it's New Year's 2015, I thought I'd talk about New Year's resolutions. We often make them, whether drunk or sober. Maybe that's one reason why I'm having the water. But most of us forget them in the next 3 days and forget we've said anything or just haven't followed through because we're so lazy, whatever the case may be. So I encourage you to write them down. I have written them down, my New Year's resolutions. Number 1, which is not so much a resolution but a priority. My daughter, Zen, who for many reasons is not living at home at the moment, but my main priority is to get her back home. New Year's resolution number 2. I have another daughter. Piper is her name. She's 14 and we lost contact, unfortunately. She and I just sort of drifted apart. She's now kind of estranged, and when I moved from Wellington, where she lives, to the far north, it became even more estranged. So resolution number 2 is to make and keep contact. New Year's resolution number 3 is to quit smoking and stay quit. New Year's resolution number 4, to make more of these videos. This started off as a lot of fun. The YouTube channel, Off My Block, it all started off as having a little bit of time on my hands to do stuff, the love of the garden, everything like that, and it's just grown into something that, well, this is what I want to do. This is something that I truly believe in, but this is something I think I can do, and I really want your help to do it with. So subscribe here, that button. Subscribe to my channel, share it around, tell people about it, lead people to the YouTube channel, share it on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, all the major media. Social media, that is. The next thing you can do is every video you watch on YouTube on my channel, give a big thumbs up so it gets out there. So please help me, please. New Year's resolution number 5. To sit down once in a while, get some more time and write. I'm actually a writer, I'm an author. I've written a couple of books. Published a couple of books. I've actually done a few more, but these are the main ones. I'll tell you about it later on. This is called, this series is a trilogy called King. The first book is called A Supernatural Twist of Fate. The second one's called God and Ghost. Third one is being written as we speak. New Year's resolution number 6 is to face what could possibly be my greatest fear, the dentist. I hate the dentist. I've got to do it. I've really got to do it. I have a phobia about the dentist, but this year I'm going to do it. I'm going to go to the dentist. I'm going to do it. I'm going to get all my teeth fixed. I'm going to get everything sorted out. And here, it's really annoying me. Can be quite painful sometimes. It really is a fear. Stretching back to when I was a kid in primary school, when the dental nurse didn't really believe too much in anesthetic. So it's a whole thing. So I've written them down. I encourage you to write them down as well, not mine, yours, and hopefully I stick to them. I've actually told you about them, so I've got no choice, I've got to stick to it.
Sing it to me. Sing it to me.
So 2014 has been and gone, but a couple of things I wanted to mention to get you thinking about something. Ebola, the rise of ISIS, Malaysian Airlines 370 gone missing. Malaysian Flight 17 shot down. The kidnapping of 276 girls. The Ice Bucket Challenge. A massive drop in oil prices. Germany winning FIFA. Philip Seymour Hoffman and Robin Williams died. We landed a probe on a comet. Now what do all these things have in common? Apart from changing the world as we know it? Not one minor or major psychic predicted any of it. Just saying. You're my demise. Sing it to me. Right, the pumpkin and the passion fruit is getting a bit out of control here, so I'm going to have to start tying it back and reshaping it and getting it to go the way I want it to go, not the way it wants to go. Now what you're going to need is a bunch of screws or eye hooks. You're going to need, if it's screws, you're going to need a screwdriver. If it's eye hooks, you can just twist it in yourself. You're going to need some wire or string. I'm going to use wire. Some wire cutters. And one of the first things you're going to need to do is check out your plant and see what kind of excess you've got in the branches, because if they have too many branches, and the energy that they produce from the food and the soil and the water and everything like that, it's not going to go into the fruit, it's going to go into growing further sprouts. So you want to cut off the excess and train it where you want to train it, and that's where the wire comes in. It's a bit of a mess, so a good pair of secateurs. That's when I realize you're my demise. As you can see, we've got a good bit of fruit coming on there, sort of hidden away in little tiny areas, but all over the plant. I want to encourage that growth by getting more energy to the fruit, cutting off some of the excess branches or vine, and then we're going to extend it all the way down there. So for January, check your climate. If you live in a subtropical area, like I do, then your sowing guide for January includes such things as Cape gooseberries, capsicums, cauliflower, celery, Chinese cabbages, cress, cucumbers, eggplants, herbs, lettuces, marrows, melons, mustard, okra, onions, spring onions that is, potatoes you're also able to do it, radishes, rhubarb, silver beet, squashes, sweet corn, sweet potatoes or kumara, tomatoes and zucchinis. Now all along this fence there are parts where the top has come down. It's arty-farty, it's a design thing, I don't know, it was like it when I moved in. So what I'm going to do is put a wire right across the top there and get the passion fruit to grow over that to fill that hole. You want to see something cool? Can you see that? Alright, so I went for a bit of a forage in the garden to get some of the stuff. Oh man, it's beautiful. So I've got carrots and I've got cucumber, I've got broad beans, peas, cabbage and radish. And I'm going to use the last of the potatoes that I got, the little wee ones, and I'm going to make a cold salad. It's kind of a mixed salad. It's not really any one particular type. It's going to have fresh eggs, it's going to have potato, carrots, not the cabbage. I'm going to make a coleslaw out of that one, so that is going to be put away in the fridge for tomorrow, and I'm going to make a coleslaw out of that. Waiting for some more carrots to come. But yeah, going to be a bit of a mix of a cold salad with a little bit of mayonnaise. Now I've got some bought mayonnaise, so forgive me for that one. I'm not going to make my own mayonnaise just yet until that mayonnaise is gone. So that in the fridge, and I'll show you how to make this delicious summer cold salad. So I've got the rest of the potatoes, some peas, got some coriander. Most of my herbs are starting to bolt, so I have to plant some more. So coriander, parsley, these are coriander, parsley, some mint and some chives, both, oh look, there's seeds. Some chives which are normal chives and some garlic chives, all those very yummy. So there are all the ingredients ready to go. So everything prepared with the magic of YouTube. The carrots and the potato in roughly bite-sized proportions. So we're going to cook some peas. The broad beans, I'm not going to cook them, just the peas at the moment. The broad beans, they need a little bit of care and attention on a different way to cook because they're a little bit old, but I'm going to put some peas in almost last minute, and the same with the eggs. These need the least amount of cooking, these need the most amount of cooking. It's not actually boiling yet, but as it comes to the boil, I want my carrots in there. Keep boiling the carrots and the potatoes until they're soft, and then add the peas and eggs and keep boiling for a further 10 minutes. Remove from heat and shock in cold water. And there you have it, quite possibly the best potato, egg, vegetable salad that you'll ever taste. Go on, you know you want it. Go on. Now I want to show you something. This is about how much ash a 20-a-day smoker produces. Of course, they're not all cremated. This is not the first time I've tried to give up smoking, and I really do hope this is my last. I've got a lot to live for, and this nasty little habit could get me into a lot of health problems, heart disease, lung cancer, and a long list of other health-related problems that could potentially kill me if I continue. Now, if you think I'm trying to scare you with all this, you're absolutely right. Smoking affects us in so many ways, everywhere from bad breath to death. Now for me, I don't want that because I'm kind of allergic to death. Now globally, over 5 million people die a year from smoking related illnesses. In New Zealand alone, it's anywhere from 43 to 4,600 people each year. By this time, I hope you've got a good grasp on your own smoking habits. Everything from how many per day through to your individual triggers like coffee in the morning, food, alcohol, that type of thing. I also hope that you've taken that 1 or 2 cigarettes a day out of your habit. Just giving up that 1 or 2 is the first step to really taking it forward. I also hope that you've thought seriously about switching to electronic cigarettes. It really will help, and in the interim between you being a full-time smoker and a non-smoker, it will help you. It'll take the edge off. Trust me, seriously, it works. Now if you've decided not to go with the electronic cigarettes, that's fine, that's your choice, it's a personal thing. I have gone with the electronic cigarettes, and I smoke them just like I would a normal cigarette, and it has helped, it has taken the edge off. A lot of people are accepting of it now, it's a socially acceptable thing. You can sit in a circle of friends who smoke and use an electronic cigarette, no problems. The next step, whether you've gone for them or whether you stay with your normal tobacco, the next step is, and this is the hard part, next time you feel like a cigarette, just wait. Wait as long as you can. You get to work. In the morning, you normally have a 10 o'clock break or thereabouts, and you'd normally have a cigarette. You already had a cigarette before you left for work, I would assume, and you may have even had one on the way to work. So for that 10 o'clock cigarette, cut it out. Don't do it. Leave it until lunchtime. Now at lunchtime, if you have a cigarette, have a cigarette. A lot of people at lunch have 2 cigarettes or 3. This time, only have the single cigarette. Now when it comes to your next break at say 3 o'clock-ish, again, give it a miss. Don't do it. Leave it alone. And then for your next scheduled cigarette, which may be on the way home or at home, that's fine. Have it. Go wild. Have a cigarette. You can see where I'm going there. So each time you feel like a cigarette, just hold it off a little bit. Hold it off a little bit. Eventually you're going to get to a point where you're not having your 10 o'clock cigarette. You're not having your 12 o'clock cigarette. You're not having your 3 o'clock cigarette. You may not have a cigarette until 6 o'clock in the evening. This is where we want to be. So the longer you hold out before you have a cigarette or your next cigarette, the better off you'll be. Now if you're thinking to yourself, oh, I bet he's having secret cigarettes off camera and we don't know how many he's had, etc, etc. You're absolutely right. The thing is, I'm going to tell you about it because this is my New Year's resolution. Not only my New Year's resolution, which I started before New Year's, it's something that I really need to do. So I'm going to tell you, in the last 2 weeks, I've had the equivalent of 2 packets of cigarettes. Whether it be the tailor-made or the roll your own, yes, I have. Now I've got nothing to prove to anybody but me. The only person I have to feel guilty to is me, and yes, I do. So from now on, I'm not going to, I'd like to say I'm not going to, from now on I'm going to hope that I can turn down any cigarettes. I may fall, and I probably will. But I'm going to continue on with the electronic cigarettes, and from now on I'm going to be talking about packets like cartridges. Okay, so a cartridge is the equivalent to a packet. So when I say I've been through X amount of cartridges, just equivalent that to tailor-made packets and we'll be all good. But yes, I have had cigarettes and I'm not going to lie about it, and this is something that I have to do. So be honest with yourself. That's all I'm saying. You've got nothing to prove to anybody but to yourself. When you make the decision to quit smoking, people are going to start to find out about it. Whether you tell them that you're trying to quit smoking, or whether they notice that you're not in the circle of people that are smoking anymore, which is great because I guarantee 2 things are going to happen. The first thing is they're going to encourage you and they're going to ask questions when you do smoke. Give them the truthful answers. Say, yeah, I know, I am trying to give up, but I would like this 1 cigarette. Give them the truth, because being truthful not only to them but to yourself as well. So tell the truth. The second thing that's going to happen after the encouragement of, good on you, keep going, we're behind you, somebody else is going to think, hey, well, if you're quitting smoking, maybe I should. Maybe we can encourage each other. Maybe we can quit together. If that happens, if somebody comes up to you and says, I want to quit smoking too, can we help each other out? A codependency thing, if you like. Take it up, do it, because there's nothing like the encouragement of a peer. Alright? If they smoke, if you smoke, they will catch you out. There is a little bit of guilt there, a bit of peer pressure and everything else like that. Have a competition if you like. But the thing is that if you've got someone else there to help you quit, to be there with you when you are quitting, and they're going through the same thing, sometimes it's nice to just pick up the phone or on the internet and talk to them. Things like that are good for you. So just encourage them. If somebody wants to quit with you, yes, do it. Well, that's it for this episode. Two things I want to tell you about, and they're both playlists. The first one is called Off My Block Instructionals. You can click right here, and that gets you to the playlist where all the how-tos are going to be listed there without having to go through the whole episode. The second one is the Quitter's Guide to Smoking, the link right here, where you can look at all the quit smoking parts in the episodes without having to go through every episode. Well, thank you for watching, and please, if you liked it, give me a thumbs up on YouTube, share it around on all the social networking, subscribe by clicking this button, and until next time, remember, keep calm and garden on.